Pause! Welcome to the 12 Days of Sickness. My name is Chance with the Seer Club. I want to give you all a warning before you jump into this video. The 12 Days of Sickness is a seasonal thing. This channel has no intention of being an educational channel, and we are no professional. So enjoy, but be aware of that. If you like our vibes and our personality, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let's get back into your video. Peace. Hello, and welcome to another Seer Club video. Today I want to share a theory I came up with when I was driving around with my partner. So basically, I've experienced this theory working better than the bull theory or the car theory. If you don't know what those are, the car theory is basically like anyone in the driver's seat is fronting and the passenger seat is co-fronting and the back seat is being kind of aware of what's going on, and then the trunk is like not fronting at all. And while this works great to explain fronting, it leaves some things out and leaves some things to be desired. The other theory is the broken bull theory, which is basically explaining how instead of being bowls stacked on top of each other, and those are different altars, it's that a bowl broke and all the altars are those shards and they're glued together to make one bowl. While both of these I think work great, I don't think they quite explain what it feels like to have DID quite as well. I think these kind of explain vaguely how fronting works and stuff like that, but not to an extent that quite fits every situation like people are wanting. And so what I like to use is what I call the blue shirt theory. It's something I came up with just trying to explain what it feels like on a date with my partner. And basically how the blue shirt theory goes is that you look at the person you're talking to and you go, imagine that every time you wear a blue shirt, only good things happen to you. And if you're wearing that blue shirt, you can't remember anything outside of when you've been wearing that blue shirt. And if you change your shirt, you can no longer remember that blue shirt and anything you've experienced in that blue shirt. This is going to basically explain a little deeper how it feels and what altars are, in my opinion. In the red shirt, you experience bad things. In the blue shirt, you experience good things. But you never really get across of good or bad, right? Like, you don't get to experience both sides of things. And so imagine yourself if you only ever experience the worst of your life. And imagine yourself if you only ever experience the good things in your life. This explains a little deeper on how altars are so different from each other. It also explains a little more how altars act differently in those situations and why. It also explains how memory gaps can happen. And those things can cause like confusion and lack of communication between altars as well. Because the one thing that bothered me about car theory a lot was, well, if I'm in a car, I can just look over and see who's driving, and that's not how it works. When you think about shirt theory, we can take those colors into account as well, right? So sometimes when you're in a blue shirt, you get red thoughts. And you don't really recognize those as red because you can't hear color. So sometimes you get aggressive thoughts that call someone a bad person, but you don't see them as a bad person. You've only ever experienced good with them. And when you're with a red shirt and you're being hurt, sometimes you get blue thoughts that make you kind of think, oh, they're just doing this because they love me, or, you know, what about this good time with them? And so those things can confuse and deviate. My thing is blue never saw those thoughts as their own when red thought they were their thoughts, and red never thought that thought as their own either when blue thought they were their thoughts. So it can kind of explain what it feels like to have that confusion there. It does show that as well, that alters are the same person. They're just the same person who experience different things. And people are just their base personality and their experiences. And so when we're looking at red and blue shirt theory, it also can show that base personality being affected by what's around them a lot more, and help explain why things may be reacted to differently based on alters. Is because if we look at red shirt is going to act very differently towards someone making a mean joke that wasn't meant to be mean, versus blue shirt, who's going to obviously know they're joking. So it helps explain the actions a little deeper without going into trying to explain how it feels. Because trying to explain how it feels is much more difficult than explaining, you know, how the memory works and affects the alter. So that's the little theory I came up with in a car ride with my partner. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and good night.